Alright, so probably the last thing you guys saw was me riveting these side rails in, these angled side rails. After that point, after I put these in, I started laying some things out, and I quickly realized that I was going to need some bigger, thicker, stronger aluminum. So I left where I was at, just kind of stopped. Next day, I think was Christmas Eve, so nobody was open Christmas. And then the day after that, of course, started calling around, getting some prices on aluminum. And I was looking at inch and a half. What I was wanting to do is run a core support down the top and one down the bottom, and then of course some angle for the sides. I think my quote for everything was $350, plus the $80 to $90 of aluminum I've already got just kind of tied up in here. So I quickly took a step back. I realized that this project was going to get deadly expensive quick. I mean, guys, it seems like everything on this boat's $350. The boat was $350, aluminum's $350. Hell, a damn brand new trolling motor is $350. The motor's $350 for a used one. Just seemed like everything was $350. So I just kind of wanted to take a step back and, you know, just see what I'm really trying to build here. And I started watching a lot of videos and everything else, and I'll just go ahead and say it this much. I decided to go with a wood frame. And what really pushed me over the edge with the wood frame is no matter what you do, no matter if you make this out of all aluminum, this whole boat is all aluminum, 9 times out of 10 your deck, unless you just got some silly money and you want to put aluminum decking at the top, it's going to be wood. So you just spend all that time putting aluminum in here, and it ends up being with a wood deck. Now I understand why you want the aluminum. Aluminum's lightweight. It doesn't weigh a tenth of what metal does and wood and everything else. I understand the reason behind that, but in the long run you still put wood on top of it. And I started thinking, I said, let's just put a wood core in it and we'll do like a hybrid. So what I've decided to do, and I want to give you a rough estimate real quick just on a price of wood. This is a 10-foot 2x4 that I cut down. It's 1.5 inches by 1 3/4. I cut this down, split it right down the middle, 10 foot. I think it was $7. So this makes, that one board makes two pieces 20 foot long. And one piece of 1.5 inch aluminum, 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch aluminum square tubing, 1/8 inch wall was $52 where I live. And I was going to need roughly, I don't know, probably 50 foot of it, and then turn around and have angle and everything else. The quote was like $300 something. So $7 versus, you know, $52. Yeah, I can put that money somewhere else in the boat. I know I'm going to pick up a lot of weight. This weighs probably 10 pounds more than the square tubing wood, but guys, it is what it is. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go with this. This is our first build. Maybe the next one we'll try all aluminum. Maybe we'll just kind of work our way in. And guys, I know what everybody's thinking, wood's going to rot. This is pressure treated, and it probably will. You know, 5 years, 10 years down the road, maybe I can pull this back in here and then gut it out and do an aluminum frame like I was wanting. But you know, I think in the long run, it's going to serve the same purpose, and that's what we're going to do. So that's where we're going. One thing I want to do is, I just want to build it to I don't want to build it extremely heavy. You know, I want to build a core support system and then kind of use aluminum on the sides when I can get away from it, where I don't think that it'll really hurt it. It's just kind of a structural thing. Not a structural thing, but just kind of a thing for the wood to sit. That's where I'm going to use it. So what I'm going to do is I've got this is an 8-footer. I've got 2 10-footers, 2 12-footers, and 2 8-footers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, probably lay 2 8-footers on the bottom, come in with 2 12-footers on the top, cut them down, start bracing them in. Just basically get a box inside this little John boat to be able to set my live well and these big totes in. And we'll start building from there. So that's kind of where I'm going. That's what we're going to do. And this will be a nice little time lapse of that. Alright guys, so this is where we're at. I just realized the camera battery died, so I kind of changed positions. We were in the front of the boat, now we're at the rear of the boat. I noticed the battery died, and I really wasn't paying attention to the camera because I had found a flaw kind of in my design as I was going. If you remember, the live well was sitting right here, almost dead right here. And if I ever desire to put like a pedestal or a seat post or something in here for somebody to sit back here, I could have put one back here, but I feel like you were just sitting too far to the rear, and I wanted to move it up about 10 inches. And this will probably serve as the front part of the mount to 7 inches back. So right around in here is going to be that post, and the live well is sitting there. And one of the big things about it, you can't put enough structure inside that lid to be able to support a 300-pound man setting a hook on a fish. So I had to, in my mind, start making changes. Now, one thing I can go ahead and tell you, I do not like the gap that I have here. It's only, I think it was 16 inches. I don't like it, and the reason that is, I'm sorry, 14 inches, 16 overall. I don't like, I feel like it's going to feel a little cramped. But how many times are you going to be, sitting here, just sitting? So, it's almost kind of like a wasted space, but it's not. So, I'm just going to leave it this size. I got up there and sat down. I was able to turn around, grab this, the motor, pretend motor that's back there, and it won't be the most comfortable thing, but it can be easily done. It's enough room for you to sit down and be able to not look like a fool as you're standing up driving your John boat down the creek or pond, whatever it may be, lake. But the big change was I moved the live well up, and I tried to put it more towards the middle of the boat. This is the middle. I left the storage. One thing I'm really noticing is I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how I want to manipulate everything so that I can get the maximum amount of space with, the least amount of wood being used. And I think I'm going to end up coming back here, putting 2 little storage boxes back here, but I'm going to have to cut the frame and move them over and come in here and do that. It'll be good to have like a little cooler, maybe a dry box over there. Put your plugs in when you're not on the lake, that way you don't lose them. Just random boat stuff. I'm going to cut wherever this stops to here is probably going to be the rod locker on this side. Over there is going to be the same thing, but it's going to be more like a deep stow, maybe for like the seat rods and stuff like that. One thing that I'm kind of trying to figure out is, I know if I put seat stows, you got to have seats. Well, not everybody wants a butt seat. I'm okay with them, but like if you take somebody out with you, they're probably going to want a full seat. Or if you're out crappie fishing, you want a full seat. You want to be able to relax. And one bad thing about it is there's really no room to put that second seat. You can leave the front seat in the post, but the second seat, I might be able to get it, on here when we're traveling. But like when we're out moving and there's 2 people in here and you got 2 seats, it's going to be a little tight. So I don't know really what to do with that. I might make a spot back here just to put the fuel tanks will be there. So you see what I'm saying? There's just so many things that you got to take into consideration. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but guys, that's all I've got so far. Pretty good start. It's getting late. I'm going to call it a night. It's starting to get cold out, and I might come back out later tonight and work on it when the kids go down and everything else, and everybody's happy. Let me think about some things. But guys, that's all I've got. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. Appreciate everybody that's been watching the video so far. And guys, that's where we're at. Nice little start. We'll come back and start bracing everything up, start getting everything where we want it, start laying it out, start ordering parts. I've got to go in and order a seat post, 2 of them, and just start, boxing things in, getting things where they need to be for the rod lockers, notching this out. So that's probably what we'll do in the next video. But guys, that's all I've got. Until then, we'll see you.